Okay, so now let's move on to we've done part of our objective, right? So we've used our Touchmath to solve double-digit addition problems, and now we're going to do that on some of our work that's being sent home. So here is our worksheet, right? So you should have this worksheet as well, and we have all of these problems right here. For today, we're just going to do these two together. And then the rest you can try on your own. So we're going to do these two together. So let's go ahead and we'll start with this one. So we have 16, you can see my cursor here, plus 10. Touchmath is great because they already show us our 10s and our 1s place, and we see the arrow over our 1s. So we know that's where we start. So we'll do 16 plus 10. So I'm going to write that on our board right here. So 16 plus 10. And remember, we have our arrow here because we're starting on this side. And we have our line. I like to do a color for the line because it helps you remember. But you can do it however you want. If you just like it all the same color, that's okay. So it's whatever you want, whatever makes it fun for you right now. Because I know it's different being in school like this. So we have our 10s place here and our 1s place here. And we always start with our 1s place. So we're going to start with 6. And we're going to put our touch points on it. So let's do our touch points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have our 6 touch points. Now 0 doesn't get any touch points. We know that, right? So we don't even need to touch it. So we can just count down. I should probably say it differently. We just count and move down, right? Because countdown usually means go backwards. So we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And remember, if you use our trick, you can just touch the biggest number and say its name. And in this case, we can just say 6 and then move down. Perfect. All right, now let's do our other numbers. So we have 1 plus 1, or it's the 10 plus the 10. So we do our dots, our touch points. So we have 1 and 1. Now here's a tricky question for you. Which number is the biggest number? So let's take a look. If we have, I'm going to put our question mark here, because which number is the biggest number? So take a moment and think. That's right, they're the same. So they're the same number. That was a tricky one, but they're the same number. So this, we're just going to count our touch points, and we're going to do 1, 2. See, I already started writing a little bit, but 2, 26. Look at that. That's our answer. See how easy that is when we use our Touchmath? Touchmath is awesome. I love it. Okay, let's look at our last problem. So we have our 10s and our 1s here. Well, actually, we'll do these 2 problems because I see this one has some different numbers too. So we'll do 2 more. 10s and 1s. So we have 11 plus 12. So let's do 11 plus 12. So we're going to do 11 plus 12. All right, and remember we always start with our 1s place, and we're going to add in our line, and then we're going to add down. So, oh, I'm sorry, I need to put my touch points. So let's go ahead and add from our 1s place. So I know I have 1, and then 1, 2. Now, here's your question again. Which number is the biggest number? 1 or 2? That's right, 2. So we can count. We can just say 2, 3, and we can just count like that. So we know it's 2, and then we count the other number touch points, 3, because it's the answer 3. Or we can just count all the touch points, 1, 2, 3. But if we can get in the habit of touching this biggest number, it'll make it easier when we get into numbers that have more. All right, so now we move on to our 10s place. That's this place right here. So we're going to put our touch points on 1 and 1. And here's your question again. Is 1 and 1, are these going to be, is one bigger than the other, or are they the same? Are they equal? So take a moment and think. That's right, they're equal, they're the same. So we can do either one. You can start at the top or the bottom. We'll do the top because it's usually easier. So we'll do 1, 2, and there's our answer. 23 is our answer. Look at this, we are flying through these. All right, let's do our last problem. You are all doing so well. I'm so proud of you. Okay, so we have our number here is 13 plus 12. So we'll write out 13 plus 12. So 13 plus 12. And remember, we're always going to start on the one side. That's that side right there. We'll add on our line again. You can do any color. I just like blue. It's a nice color. All right, so let's go ahead and add our touch points in. So we have 3 plus 2. So we can add in our touch points 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And we will add these two numbers together. We can count all the touch points or touch the biggest number and say its name. We're going to do both. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Or we can touch the biggest number and say its name. We know that our biggest number is 3, so we can do 3, 4, 5. Same answer. All right, here's your task. I want you to try to solve this number by putting your touch points on it. So I'm going to stay quiet for a second. Here's your challenge. I want you to try and add these numbers together by putting your touch points on and getting your answer, and then I'll solve it with you. All right, so take a moment. You can pause the video. All right, if you're done, you can unpause it. And we are going to add in our touch points. So we do 1 and 1. And then we are going to add these two numbers together. They're the same, so we can start with either one. And I go 1, 2. And that gives us the answer, 25. Perfect. Beautiful.